Okay. All right, so we are going to be playing Top Gun here. I got a box copy of this I picked up along the way. We used to play this over at my neighbor's house when my friends had it. Uh, it can be a difficult game. Um, it doesn't have like cheap deaths in it per se, but there's some that you just can't get around. The graphics are pretty decent for it, for the most part. The music is good when it plays because the boards are silent. Yeah, it's a decent game. It doesn't get the credit it should get. For this training mission, though, we'll select the hounds. The thing is there can be areas where there's a lot of cheap deaths and stuff, and you can't get any extra lives. Kind of just junk like that. There's no continues. So that's kind of why people throw this one off to the side. They play it, they get through stage 1, no problem. They get into level 2, and that one sometimes kills them off. Or if they'll get to level 3. And level 3 is kind of a gatekeeper. And if you get good at 3, you can do decent at 4. But 4 can be just a nightmare. We're going to just kind of wuss through this game. There's a trick you can do by just kind of pulling up like this and avoiding everything. Speaking of which, okay. There'll be a set of planes coming up that's going to fire a missile at me. There it is. That one's easy to avoid. There's missiles that come later, all in stage 2. They'll throw 3 of them at you at a clip, and it's a pain in the butt to avoid those missiles. Oops. There we go. I'm streaming and Twitch is telling me to manage everything from my phone. Thanks, guys. Now these guys, you have to practice at this. That's what this stage is just practice on learning how to get the plane to fly where you want it to go. You learn about the damage, that red bar at the bottom, and it gets you through everything. It's a decent tutorial stage. Pretty much at the end of it. And the reason I can tell that is from the fuel. Oops. Is that it? Oh, there we go. All right. Now you'll see my speed is at 521. That'll translate over to when I'm trying to land the plane. So I know I need to really bring this speed down here. There we go. And I just wanted to check the if I was dropping frames too. So, okay, there we go. Just a matter of losing that altitude now. So I'm going to level it out a little bit here. Speed up. There we go. Okay, now I need to gain some altitude. Speed back down. altitude, altitude. And at this point, I need to be paying attention more to the where I am left and right, and keeping my receptacle centered at the end of the carrier. And yeah, you will be able to get that altitude and speed to do some crazy things. I've had that altitude down in like the 140s already and still landed it. Oh, something else. It says this high score is 50,000 points. I don't know if it's from other NES games or anything. Oh, hang on. For this, you want the Tigers. You always want, from now on, you're just going to use the Tiger missiles. The 50,000 points. That's where I was going with this. For some reason, I thought that that was a marker for like extra lives, but no, there are no free lives, and like I think I said before, no continues in this at all. I hear you can putz around and learn how to do the dog fighting and stuff. See, I can't. One of my biggest complaints is that you can't. Oh boy, here we go. There it is. When you're making your moves, like the left, right, and the verticals, the other planes, even if they're coming at you, pointed down at you, and you're pulling up, you won't go above them at all, and you won't gain the momentum or speed that you would to be able to shoot above. It's like you're moving with your nose up in the air forward, and like I said, we're going to kind of like wuss through this a little bit here. I'm going to be keeping the nose pointed up. It's kind of a way to avoid missiles and bullets and things. But that doesn't work as much towards the later stages. Trying to think of anything else. These are juking left and right. Trying to think of anything that really needs to be mentioned in here. Ooh. Oh boy, here we go. There. Avoid those 3 missiles. Those get ugly. Oh shoot. Well, now you can see the damage at those with the red indicators at the bottom. I'm way too high in the air to be able to lock on with missiles. I think you got to be around like the 10,000, 15,000 feet or something like that. I don't know. I'm just going to avoid that clutter and avoid the damage that's going to be going there from now on. We're getting close to doing one of the infamous refills here. Something else I'd like to mention is there's kind of 2 strategies for this game. One is learning the actual air combat, getting in here, doing all the dog fighting like this, getting in there, and shooting the planes out. The other one is avoidance. Where's this guy? There he is. You need to clean up all the memories or the enemies on the screen before you can bring in the plane. The avoidance method is just maybe you'd call it pacifist. You just want to get away from everything and just to survive to the end. Just hold A to really get this thing in. And all you're doing is trying to get that the fuel line. You ignore the screen at the top. You just concentrate on the that center display. Just get the fuel line into that X that's provided. All right, here we go. And that'll fill up your fuel. It will also fill up your missiles if you've used any. See, I'm pulling up all the way, and I can't get... I can't match that guy's climb. left and right. Juke him off. If you stay on too long, he'll fire a missile at you and kill you. Now we're going to just avoid all these ships down here. See, I look at it as this. If I was trying to, I mean, if this was like my job was going to be to fly a plane, you know, and take out an aircraft carrier, I'd be trying to avoid all the other enemy ships and planes as much as possible. Get up to altitude, nosedive it, whatever, to finish it off. All right, here we go. This has got to lower the altitude down to about 4,000 feet. What we're going to want to do is just spam both the guns and the missiles. We're going to want to keep the aircraft carrier in the large green receptacle, just to get the lock-ons for him with the missiles. You'll target aircraft. There's some aircraft that are going to be getting thrown around on the side as well, but that's all part of it. You got more than enough missiles for it. But we're going to try to shoot down what I refer to as the top missiles that get fired at you. The bottom ones will kind of just sneak underneath you. And you're just going to want to juke and weave a little bit to avoid enemy fire, and line everything up. And you'll see it. It's going to be just a spur of quick. It's going to be a quick skirmish here. So I got to shoot that one down and just fire away here. There. My speed's at 419, so I need to slow that down quite a bit. I'm going to bring down my altitude. Okay, there we go. I just need to feather this and oh. Keep this pointed at the end of the aircraft. Keep it at the end of the carrier, kind of centered again. And there we go, easy peasy. There's where the game kind of racks up the difficulty. I think it actually gets harder in the second half of this stage. If you got an emulator, put a save state in here and then practice the stage a lot. And then 4, as you can see, the first 2 stages aren't that difficult, particularly if you're doing this avoidance method. But here it gets a little more wild. Everybody kind of like shoots at you here. And the missiles come in a lot more happy. Level 4 is ridiculous. Everybody seems to want to shoot a missile at you. And here I use a bit of weaving pattern every so often. I pull down here maybe to try to take out somebody. We'll have several of those. Oops, I'm going to keep climbing here. We will also see some cheap missiles coming at us here. They will show up out of the blue and come straight into the receptacle. No matter how much ducking and weaving, you just got to kind of shoot them out as they come in. Um, that's just one of the things I didn't particularly care for in the game. I like the option to be able to just kind of like juke and avoid the missiles, but sometimes you got to shoot them out of the air. Oh, and there's little strategies here. Like, we had two planes coming in from behind, and if you start moving in on them, one plane will come into the front like this one is. We'll see more and more of that. They actually try getting you to strategize a little bit with you as you line up for a shot. They'll come up front like that one right there. See that missile? I was pulling all the way over, and it was starting to turn into me. So there would have been no way to avoid it. I just happened to get lucky on getting it there before the arc or their turn radius kicked in a little bit more. Okay, let's take care of the fuel. Ground enemies have to leave the screen. There we go. And just A to speed up because I've got arrows so low on my speed. Oh, speed down. There we go. Looks like we're pulling into the last, like, I don't know, 15 minutes of the game here. Missile guy coming at me there. Now I want to save my missiles for the very end. Once again, it's a spam fest. All the boss battles are all spam fests. But I really need to keep my missiles saved up. There should be like 4 or 5 by the time I'm done, no matter what. But you never know in case something, something stupid happens. Okay, I better stop that right now. Every so often you might miss a missile firing. You get the target receptacle off, something silly like that. But it'll definitely be a bad game changer. There we go. Okay, we're gonna drop down. We're going to spam the heck out of it and just concentrate on shooting out that top missile. Here we go. There we go. 3 missiles left, so I would have had 4 missiles. Okay, now I need to speed up right away and go down a little bit. Bring my altitude down. Oh, now I can speed down. Feather my flight a little bit. Just aim at the back of the aircraft carrier. All right, last board. Got 2 lives yet. Hopefully we can get through here without taking too many missiles. This is technically, I think it's supposed to be three sections in here. Well, maybe 5 or 6 sections, depending on how you count everything here. But you start off with this air-to-air, where the planes get special abilities that you don't have, special twisting and diving. Oops, they like their missiles, and they're much more accurate with their shooting. A lot more of this going on in the background. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Getting shot back and forth here. Alright. So yes, we've got this air-to-air section that we're doing right now. There will be a air-to-sea in a little bit. And then after the air-to-sea, there's an air-to-ground. Oh, jeez Louise. Whew. And after the air-to-ground, there is another air-to-ground. I keep tipping my nose down. I think that's what's causing me problems. Like that. Pointing up like this is letting me avoid all the missiles and the gunfire and everything else that's getting spewed up at me right now. It's kind of cheap though, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But I also think it's what you'd want to do. You'd want to avoid any and all fire as you get in here. Okay, here's the first part of the air-to-ground combat. Yes. Those missiles are so cheap, let me tell you. You will die to those more than once. I remember doing that as a kid. And then once again, when I did this before on the NES challenge. Okay, here we go. Now, you can see we got the brown dirt here, or the brown sand or whatever for the ground stage. It'll turn gray for some reason, or a whitish. And we're just going to speed right up because we're at 104. Speed down a little bit. Down. Oh boy. There we go. That was going to be a long one. Holy man. I was going to be afraid that that thing was going to take off on me. Alright, so we're going to want to push up right away because I don't know what we're going to be flying into right here. Okay. Here it turned into that whitish gray. Now we're going to start seeing helicopters popping up here. Not sure how long it takes for them to start doing that, but they do, and it sucks. We've got the standard ground units. Also, a white dot will appear right there. There you can see the helicopters popping in now. We're just going to avoid those as much as possible. Not even really paying attention to the clouds in that black sky at all. Yes. See, I'm focusing mainly on the radar itself. Dodging those missiles. Here we go, final target. And once again, we're just going to spam the heck out of it, try to keep it in the center. I think you get about 3 missiles left or so when you're done with this one. And then we got to land the plane. I have never actually missed this landing of the plane. I've only solved this like 4 or 5 times in the past. I think it's been 5 now. But I've never missed the last landing. So let's hope that we don't again. I don't want to see what the credits change. Because there's no credits. It's just like push start to do it again. All right, here we go. I'm not sure what hit me. It might have been gunfire or something like this. I only had like 3 or so on the health. I forgot about that, or for damage left. And I took a lot of damage there. All right, let's speed up. Oh, we gotta lower the aircraft again, though. All right, there we go. The altitude back up. Let's focus on keeping this right at the very end here. Just tapping the A button. Oop. Come on, back down here. There we go. There we go. Nice night landing. There we go, 62,800. One player remaining. Mission accomplished. Landed the plane. Now I think the I want to say the European or the Japanese version, they've got some better. I don't know if they took them out for this version or if the Japanese one got released later, but they added extra cutscenes in there. They added the amount of planes that you shot down along the side. It was really interesting. I still don't remember what happens when you push a start key. Well, there's nothing more to it. There's no more credits. I think, does it just bring it at the end or start you over again? I don't think there's 2 loops or anything. Let's just start the second loop just to see what happens here. I'm curious if the training gets harder or if it just completely restarts. So, second loop. It doesn't seem to be any different. Speed didn't come in any faster. I'm not sure on the pattern. Somebody smarter than me is going to have to know that. Alright, yeah, I think it's just the same thing. So that's all there is to Top Gun. So you guys have a great night. I'm going to be heading to bed.